Once upon a time. One bright morning, lion and donkey were walking along the edge of the savannah, the sun just beginning to rise above the horizon. The air was cool, and the animals of the plains were just starting to stir. They often enjoyed long walks together, talking about important lessons and sharing wisdom with the younger animals. "Hey, donkey," lion said, his deep voice full of thought. "I've been thinking about the Seventh Commandment. You know, the one about not committing adultery. It's such an important lesson, but I'm not sure the younger animals understand it very well." Donkey nodded wisely, his long ears flicking. "You're right, lion, it's something we should explain in a way they can really understand. How about we tell them a story?" Lion smiled. "That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it." They made their way over to the young animals gathered by the watering hole. A group of curious lions, gazelles, and zebras were waiting for them. The little ones always enjoyed the stories lion and donkey shared with them, and today they were eager to learn something new. Lion sat down with his mighty mane shining in the sunlight, and donkey stood by his side, ready to begin. "All right, everyone," Lion said in his calm but powerful voice. "Today, we're going to tell you the story of a wise lioness named Amina." Donkey spoke up. Amina was a kind and strong lioness who lived in the heart of the savannah. She loved her family dearly, especially her mate, Kazi. They had built a beautiful life together, and they always took care of each other. But there was a lesson that Amina had to learn, and it was connected to the Seventh Commandment: "You shall not commit adultery." Lion continued. One day, while Amina and Kazi were out hunting, Amina met a young lion named Zuri. Zuri was handsome, charming, and kind, but something about him didn't sit quite right with Amina. Even though she cared deeply for Kazi, she found herself drawn to Zuri's attention. He often complimented her, made her feel special, and promised her a life full of excitement and adventure. Donkey ears flicked. At first, Amina didn't think much of it. She thought she could enjoy the attention without doing anything wrong. But over time, she began to spend more and more time with Zuri. She knew deep down that her loyalty to Kazi was fading, and it troubled her heart. The more she spent time with Zuri, the more she realized that what she was doing wasn't right. Lion's voice grew gentle. One day, after spending an entire afternoon with Zuri, Amina sat by herself in the tall grass, feeling torn. She realized that she had neglected the vows she had made to Kazi, and her heart was full of regret. She knew that she had violated the trust and love that held her relationship with Kazi together. Donkey nodded and added, Amina decided to talk to Kazi about what had happened. When she told him everything, he was hurt and saddened, but he wasn't angry. He looked at Amina with kind eyes and said, "Amina, we made promises to each other when we became partners. The Seventh Commandment teaches us to remain faithful to one another. It's not just about staying together, it's about protecting the trust and love that we share. When we break that trust, it hurts both of us." Lion continued. Amina felt a deep sense of shame, but Kazi forgave her. He didn't want her to feel lost or broken. They both realized that this moment was a chance for them to grow even closer, to rebuild their trust, and to learn the importance of faithfulness. Donkey's voice was gentle as he added, Amina understood then. The Seventh Commandment, "You shall not commit adultery," wasn't just about avoiding wrong actions, it was about protecting the sacred bond between two people who love each other. It's about remaining loyal, faithful, and trustworthy, and not letting anything or anyone come between that love. Lion looked around at the young animals and said, just like Amina and Kazi learned, the Seventh Commandment teaches us that when we make promises to someone, especially someone we love, we should keep them. It's about being faithful to those promises, whether they are to our families, our friends, or our partners. Faithfulness is the foundation of strong, trusting relationships. Donkey added, and remember, kids, it's not just about love between mates. It's also about loyalty to our families, respect for the relationships we're part of, and the importance of being trustworthy and true. One of the young gazelles raised her head and said, so, we should always be loyal and kind to the people we care about. If we promise to love them, we have to keep our promises and never let anything get in the way. Lion smiled warmly. Exactly. And when we live by the Seventh Commandment, we honor not only those we love, but also God, who created love to be pure and strong. Donkey nodded, his ears twitching. So, kids, always remember the lesson from Amina and Kazi. Stay true to your word, protect your relationships, and be faithful. It's a beautiful way to live. The young animals nodded, understanding the importance of faithfulness. They promised to carry this lesson with them, knowing that strong relationships built on trust and loyalty were the most precious gifts of all. And from that day on, the animals of the savannah remembered the seventh commandment, living with loyalty, love, and faithfulness, just as God had intended.